How's it going, everyone? ND Sean 45 coming at you. Now, first off, don't anybody worry. This video is about football and football only. However, I will say this one thing very briefly, and then I'll move right along. With the videos that I put out last week about, the religious and social issues and all that, based on a lot of the stupidity that I saw in the comments that I received on those videos, I am just that much more inspired to make more videos down the road, and there will be some more videos like that down the road of me talking about my faith and social issues. And it just, that's one thing I like about YouTube is, when you start to express yourself, you really see the true colors in people come out, and I'm not going to be quiet anymore. If something's on my mind, I'm going to say it. So be on the lookout for more of those videos down the road, if you care to watch them. But anyway, with that said, moving on, this is it. This is Fiesta Bowl week, the Fiesta Bowl 2016. The Irish are getting ready to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, the last time we met up with the Buckeyes, ironically enough, it was 10 years ago in the 2006 Fiesta Bowl. Now, I remember that game very well. It was quite a contest for a while, but Ohio State ended up pulling away at the end. But the Irish were able to make it a game for a while in that one. But that was then, this is now. No focusing and dwelling on the past. It's no big secret. Ohio State is going to be heavily favored in this one. I have not seen the Vegas odds, but clearly, I think it's safe to say that Ohio State is a favorite. Surprisingly enough, with including the 2006 Fiesta Bowl, Notre Dame and Ohio State, they've only met 5 times total, which honestly surprises the hell out of me for how close these two schools are geographically to one another. But I guess that in a way that's kind of what makes these matchups special. Being teams that you don't see all the time, so the anticipation is just that much stronger. But it's disappointing that neither us or Ohio State were able to make the playoffs, which would have made this an even bigger matchup. But it is what it is. Still a big game, and even though, as I said in a recent video, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get the Iowa Hawkeyes, for personal reasons for myself and where I grew up. I was very happy to get the Ohio State Buckeyes in this game because this is a very respectable opponent, and it gives the Irish yet another chance to make a statement and get some big time momentum going into spring practice, and get some recruits looking and whatnot. All the usual stuff. But first off, one thing I do want to comment on briefly is Ezekiel Elliott. Now, some people are gonna expect me to, make a spectacle of that and go on a long rant about that, but no, I'm not. Now, I will say this though, myself personally, do I think he should be punished? Absolutely, absolutely, I do. But I gotta tell you guys something. I'm really glad that Urban Meyer decided not to suspend him for this game. I'm actually glad that we're going to be going up against this Ohio State team with Ezekiel Elliott playing. Now, some of you are scratching your heads wondering, Sean, have you fallen off your rocker? Why would you say such a thing? I mean, Ezekiel not being there would help us greatly. Well, maybe so. But here's why I say that. Here's why I say that I'm glad to be playing against him. Just not trying to get ahead of myself here, but let's say Urban decided to suspend Elliott. And, we go into this game and we end up beating Ohio State. Well, what do you think the masses are going to say? Oh, well, gee, you know why the Irish won that game? Because Ezekiel Elliott wasn't playing, blah, 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 and the usual spiel we would likely hear. So there's my reason. We want to beat one of the best. We gotta go up against their best players in there. So that's why I am so glad that Urban Meyer did not suspend Ezekiel Elliott. But anyway, look, getting on to the game itself. It's been a month. We've had a lot of time to get rested and heal up a little bit. Still going to be out with a couple of key guys like Kavari Russell, And CJ Procise, I know he's going to be back for this game, but in my personal opinion, I don't really see him getting a significant amount of carries just due to the severity of his injury, but we'll have to wait and see. But keys to victory for the Irish in this one. First things first, as I say in every game, be smart with the football. No turnovers, no mistakes. If it's not there, throw the ball away. That's what Deshaun Kaiser needs to do. So just protect the football because that has hurt us in crucial situations this season. Second key to victory, the offensive line, particularly the matchup between Ronnie Stanley and Bosa, Joey Bosa, Ohio State's defensive end. These two guys, Stanley for us and Bosa for them, both looking to be top 10 draft picks. So that's going to be a key matchup to look forward to in this one. Stanley, in particular, has really got to keep Bosa in check because that guy is a beast. He has shown that all season long, and he's definitely going to be a talented player at the next level. But of course, so is Ronnie Stanley. But the whole offensive line needs to be doing their job. Second key to victory, we have got to find a way to establish a run game. Now, I know it sounds like I've said that a lot this season, but this time is the big one. Ohio State has a great rush defense in particular. Through the air, I think that's where we could hurt them the most, honestly. But we have got to get a run game going here. If we can find, and even if we're having trouble with it, we cannot abandon it. We've got to try our damnedest to get one going. And with Josh Adams and CJ Procise pending his amount of carries, and as good as our offensive line is, we should be able to do that. But again, we've had trouble with that at times this season. But this is where it matters the most. Last game of the season, big time opponent. We've got to make it happen. We have to make a running game happen any way that we can. Third key to victory, and this one really should come as a no-brainer. We've got to find a way to shut down Ezekiel Elliott. And not just Ezekiel Elliott, but that whole Ohio State offense. I mean, they're as talented gets. JT Barrett, who is now the starting quarterback, he's had some good numbers for the time that he's seen this year. You look at both him and Cardell Jones and you compare the stat lines, they're almost identical. I mean, same completion percentage, amount of the touchdown interception ratio very similar. I think Barrett has 2 more touchdowns and 2 less interceptions. But of course, the big stat, Cardell Jones almost doubles JT Barrett in passing yards, but that's only because Cardell saw most of the snaps to start the season. And then you got Michael Thomas, their big go-to receiver, 700 reception yards, 8 touchdowns. He's clearly their go-to guy. So there's a lot of talent on this Ohio State offense, but the big matchup is our whole defense, basically our front 7 against Ezekiel Elliott. We have got to find a way, at the very least, to contain him, because he's been their workhorse. Just shy under 1,700 yards rushing and 19 touchdowns in the regular season. I mean, he's one of the best running backs in the country for a reason, and I give him all the respect in the world for the talent that he has. Despite his little mishap last week or over the weekend, whenever it was, he's still a talented football player. And so that's the big one right there. We've got to find a way to either shut him down or at the very least contain him. Because this is a team that, on both sides of the ball, offensive and defense, you make a mistake against them, they'll make you pay for it. So we got to make this stuff happen, or else it's going to be a long day at the office for us. But look, if we're able to play efficient, make them play, at our pace, play our game, then we should be able to set the tone in this one and get things going and get in that driver's seat early. So if things go according to plan and we're able to follow through with all of that, obviously I don't see us blowing Ohio State out. I mean, Ohio State, they're a team that is going to stick around. They've been a pesky team all season for their opponents. Um, but the way I see this one going down, this is a team that you can score points against. There's a few teams on their schedule that have shown that. So my final score prediction in this one, if we can do everything according to plan, Irish win this game by the final score of 35-30. It's going to be a close one, but if we make the mistakes that we have this season that have plagued us at times, or if we're just not on our A game, then it's like I said, it's going to be a long day at the office for us. It's almost one of those games where I think we're either going to win it close or we're going to lose it bad, and by a big time margin. I hate saying that, but it's just in my experience that's kind of how it's turned out to be with some big games in recent years. So yeah, that's really all I have for you in this one, guys. Again, this is a chance for the Irish to come out and make a big end of the year statement and get some momentum going into next season. So, people have always been saying to us for years, at least the last decade or so, oh, the Irish can't ever win the big one. Well, boys, let's go out there and finally prove these people wrong and get the job done. Another golden opportunity. Let's take advantage of it and run with it. So, with that said, everyone, this is ND Sean 45 signing off. And as I always say, God bless and go Irish, baby! Beat Buckeyes, get respect.